It's Tuesday night. It's time for the Coach Brew Show. I know it's been a while, but Coach Brew, we're 4-0.
How about it?
It's kind of where you want to be, right?
I'm not mad at it, I can promise you.
All right, Coach Brew, last week, big win at home over Opelousas. The good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah. I would say that there were some things that took place as far as, I'll start with the bad. There were some times where we gave a long drive right before halftime, took a bunch of time off the clock. So I wasn't real happy about that. But, and offensively we had a turnover, and we weren't great in kickoff coverage at times. I think we need to get better there as well. But overall, okay, the good, I would say that anytime you score 51 points, that's good, right? And anytime you're able to hold an opponent to 10 or less, that's a good thing as well. So we gave up one touchdown there, 6 points. Kicked a 40-yard field goal, so that's always a good thing. And we didn't punt, and that's always a good thing, right? So I was happy about that. Got to play a lot of guys on our roster, so that's always a good thing. As far as the ugly is concerned, I felt bad for those Opelousas kids. They certainly they didn't bring maybe 20 or 30 fans and to support them, and I hate to see that. I hate to see where kids work really, really hard and sometimes they're not supported. So I didn't like to see that. Like I said, my deal is we can control what we can control, and that's what I'm trying to get our guys to understand. It really doesn't matter who the opponent is. There's a certain standard we want to play up to, and we're gonna really concentrate on controlling what we can control, and then move forward.
Any concern with rust after the open day week?
Not really. I think I was really anxious to see us get back to putting a healthy product on the field. It was the first time that we put all 5 starting offensive linemen on the field together, coming back from injuries and everything. Christian Brooks, the wide receiver, it was good to see him back feeling good, 100% out there. Jacoby Reeves, another wide receiver, it was good to see him out there full speed, running around. I think we could have a dangerous ball club when we're healthy, and so it was good to see our guys healthy, and we should get to see another healthy group again on Friday.
All right, pre-district's over, Coach.
Yeah.
You've always said if there's a title to win, you want to win it. So let's talk about a little 4 or 5A football.
Yeah, definitely. When you look at our district. Some interesting things happened last week. Catholic uncharacteristically lost for the second week in a row. Now, albeit it was the #1 team in Mississippi, right? So that was a good ball club they lost to, but nonetheless it was a loss. And Central got beat by Lafayette Christian. As far as the rest of the district is concerned, Liberty scored 70 against Bogalusa, 70-0. Obviously they're getting some things going in the right direction. Woodlawn got a big win. I forgot who they beat, but Woodlawn got a win as well. So 2 of our district teams won, 3 of our non-district teams won, which gave us 5 power points on the week as far as our opponents were concerned. So. I was good with that. I wish we got 2 more with Catholic and Central, but we did. But that's where we are, and now we start district play. We'll play Show-Scotlandville this week. Catholic and Liberty play on Thursday night. And then Woodlawn and Central will play on Friday. So here we are. We're in district now. I hesitate to use the word inexperienced with any of our players now because we're halfway through a season, so they should be they should be kicking on all cylinders now and be ready to roll as far as that's concerned. I think our district's going to be a lot of fun to watch. I think you've got, the three teams that preseason-wise everybody said they thought could be pretty good with us and Catholic and Central, and then but Woodlawn has won more games than they were predicted to win already. Liberty has won more games than they were predicted to win already. And Scotlandville is Scotlandville, man. They're super talented. You know what kind of effort we're going to get from Scotlandville when we play them this week. It's the same effort we always get from Scotlandville, right? And when Zachary and Scotlandville line up, it's always a fun contest. So that's what we're looking forward to this week. Really big, we need Acadiana and Plaquemine and Karen Crow to keep winning football games. And I think they are. I think all three of them have a chance to run the rest of their districts. With the exception of Karen Crow and Acadiana, because they're going to play each other for the district championship. But other than that, I think they can all win the majority of their games. This is going to be big for us power ranking wise. Opelousas will get into district next week in that 4A district that's a little bit weaker this year. So I'm really hoping they can win, 2, 3, 4 games in that district and give us some more power points there as well. So I'm excited about it, man. But we're going to control what we can control. I've talked about that already. And we can control how we play in our district slate, and that's what I'm looking for.
All right, before we get into this year's Scotlandville game, there's been some classics, Coach.
Yeah.
So, just a couple of memories of big Zachary Scotlandville games in the past.
It's funny you say that because this is going to be the last time that Zachary and Scotlandville play. They're going, they're dropping in classification. And we've already talked, and we're not going to play each other further, right? And robbery's going to be done. So this will be the last time we get to line it up with the old Hornets. But there have been some tremendous games, man. That 2015 game that ended 43-41 in favor of the Broncos. Scotlandville's on the 1 yard line on the last play of the game. Right? They hand it off, and Tywan Bearden comes from the side, smacks a guy, ball shoots up in the air in the end zone. We recover to end the game. I mean, are you kidding me? They get any better than that, right? We had some incredible games with Levi Lewis as their quarterback, and so difficult to kind of corral, if you will.
How about the rain game, Coach? Remember the rain game?
Yeah, the rain game. That was in our stadium. I think we got off the field at like 11:30 that night. Every pass play of the game just took forever to get over with. I think T-Set was the quarterback then as well. And like I said, Zachary Scotlandville has always been very, very emotional. It's been very entertaining for the fan bases. We played them we played them in Mumford Stadium on the bluff.
Yep.
Right? We've been very fortunate to have the success we've had against Scotlandville over the years. So let's see, 12 years. So right now we're 9. Since I've been here, we're 9-2 against them. 10-2. We played them twice when we beat them in the playoffs.
That's right, playoffs.
So 10-2. So we've had a pretty good record against them. Their head coach now, Richard Oliver. Richard Oliver was a defensive line coach at Zachary 2012, I think, 2012, 13 maybe. Rich is a great guy. I had a chance to coach with him in an all-star game. Coach Thomas and I coached with him in an all-star game, and he's just a really, really good guy and a heck of a football coach. He'll have those guys ready to play this week. So looking forward to it. Should be fun.
All right, so what can we expect from Scotlandville offensively, defensively, special teams?
Yeah, got a quarterback that can really do it. He's a lot of fun to watch. He's very, very athletic. They're huge up front. Huge, just like Scotlandville always is. It's going to be important for us to gang tackle the football and defense, making sure that if we do miss a tackle, we got to have some guys there to clean that up. That's we weren't great tackling last week. We missed some tackles, and I'm hoping we shore that up a little bit. We tried to work on the passing game a lot this past week. And just looking at what we're doing offensively right now, the run game is going really, really well. And we need to begin to kind of complete more footballs and get some balls down the field. And we're hoping that establishing the run game the way that we're going to try to do it, not just this week, but every week, gives us the opportunity to complete balls down the field. So those are things that we're working on.
All right, other activities this week. Coach, tonight we got a doubleheader going on?
Yeah, a doubleheader going on right now. Our 8th grade team is playing Seaside as we speak. When that game ends, our freshman team is going to line up against Dutchtown. So the doubleheader in the corral going on right now. Tomorrow, our JV team will travel to Scotlandville, play those guys at 6 o'clock tomorrow. And then I think this weekend, this weekend our Junior Bronco Legends are playing in the corral all day Saturday. So got a full slate of games in the corral this week.
Volleyball's got a game tonight and Thursday at home.
Correct.
And then Saturday, cross-country team is going to be running as well.
Where are they running?
Catholic High School Invitation.
Oh, okay, so that's probably Highland Road.
Yep.
Highland Road Park. Okay.
So, lots going on, Coach Brew. Before we go to our first break, why don't you introduce our players of the last 2 weeks and our coaches of the last 2 weeks, Farm Bureau.
Yeah, definitely. So our Farm Bureau player of the week for Karen Crow, a couple weeks ago, Jeremy Patton, a running back. That night at Karen Crow, we rushed for over 400 yards that night. Patton had 240 yards on 17 carries. He was electric. Tyler Lewis was electric. Offensive line played really well. And so we're excited about having him up here at the table. He's had some big games for us already, and we're going to need to make sure he continues to have big games for us. I need to talk to one of these waitresses and make sure that Patton is definitely eating tonight. I get on him sometimes about making sure he gets a grub. He can't be losing weight during the season. But anyway, his position coach, Kendall Cleveland, is here tonight. He's the Farm Bureau Coach of the Week. Coach Cleve. Coach Cleve has been at Coach Cleve has been in Zachary a long, long time. Originally from Texas, was a tremendous running back in high school, went on to play at LSU, played running back at LSU, has been at Zachary longer than I have, and I was lucky enough to be able to keep him on the staff when I got the job. Kendall, we're going to have to take the microphone away from him probably. He loves to talk, and so we're going to have to make sure we put a muzzle on him, I think. The second Farm Bureau player of the week, Dylan Shellmeyer, a two-time winner so far this year. I wish I could give you his stats. I think Coach Thomas is going to do that.
No, Dylan gave them to me, Coach.
Because they are, the last time he was up there, his stats were ridiculous. I think these are even more gaudy. So I was excited about that when we were in our staff meeting on Saturday morning. Every coach talks about their players, what they did the night before, so when it was time for Coach Thomas to talk, he nominated Shellmeyer and read out the numbers, and good Lord have mercy. Serious numbers there, dominating performance. And then his position coach, Coach Stephen Thomas, will be here. He'll be back on the microphone tonight as well. He told you a couple of weeks ago he'd be back, didn't he?
Both of them. He told me, and Shellmeyer told me they were both going to be here.
There you go. Coach Thomas has never been known to lie, and he wasn't lying there either. He's back on the stage this week. So certainly excited to hear from those four guys tonight. Those four guys are tremendous parts of our program. Huge roles they play on both sides of the ball, and we're excited to have them represent the Z tonight.
All right, so we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to bring up Dylan Shellmeyer. We're going to bring him up. Hold up, Jeremy. Dylan has experience. You're supposed to watch him and learn how he takes interviews. And he has a baseball card. So we're going to have Shellmeyer first, and then we'll bring in Coach Thomas, and then we'll have Jeremy and Coach Clay. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. All right, Shellmeyer. He's 240 yards. He has already had 2 straight 200-yard games. Your Farm Bureau Player of the Week, Jeremy Pack. All right, Jeremy. I like to start this thing off. We'll start a little academics. What's your grade point average?
3.0 GPA.
Did y'all catch that? 3.0 GPA. I know a lot of people that are proud of that. Is there anybody in the audience that you'd like to recognize?
My mom, she helped me a lot with my homework when I don't know what I'm doing.
All right. Is there anybody else in the audience that you would like to recognize?
My grandma, my nana, and my titi.
All right. Talk a little bit about Coach Cleve.
Coach Cleve, he's an excellent coach. I feel like he one of my best running back coaches I had. He be putting us on bags, making us go through work. It actually helped when it comes to playing on Friday.
So, for many of you, you don't know who Jeremy is. I gotta tell you a story. In 8th grade, I watched him play against Central. He had 300 yards of total offense. He ran back kicks. He had receptions for touchdowns on screens, and he ran the ball. And I said, when that guy gets to the high school, watch out, because he's got a ton of vision in the open field. So, before you get to the open field, you need to thank the big ugly. So, how about the O-line?
Oh, I thank my O-line every time I score. Someone we want to pick me up, I let them pick me up. And yeah, the bond with my line is good.
All right. Anything else you want? You want to recognize your teammates for some of their support and how you've done things?
Yes, sir. I want to thank KB. He really helped me, motivate me, and keep me going.
All right. Here's the tough question. You're a junior. Thus far, what is your favorite moment as a Zachary High School Bronco?
That 80-yard run versus Cancro. I broke 2 tackles, and I just took it to the house.
Nice, nice. All right, this is your show, Farm Bureau Player of the Week. Anything else you want to let folks know?
This is Jeremy Patton, class of 2027. Look out.
All right, there he is, your Player of the Week. All right, Coach Cleve, you're up. We're going to keep it short, Coach Cleve.
All right.
Get that mic close. All right, Coach Cleve, talk a little bit about your Player of the Week.
Jeremy, like you said, Jeremy has been doing what he has been doing since the 8th grade. So I knew coming up that Jeremy was going to be pretty good. And he's been working hard and handling his business in the weight room over the summer. And he had a good summer and a good spring and good fall camp. So we were looking for big things from Jeremy. The only problem was this is his first year starting on varsity. So that was a big key. But I think that he's handled the transition very well.
All right, so you got 2 really good running backs. Do we have Thunder and Lightning? I mean, do we have a name for this backfield?
I would like to call them Thunder and Lightning.
You like that, huh?
I like that nickname, but I think they complement each other very well, and I think that they feed off each other. So I think that Thunder and Lightning would be a good nickname for them.
All right, well, tell us about some of the other running backs that you're coaching right now. We talked about Jeremy. Talk about who else is in the running backs room.
I was fortunate enough to get running back from Texas, Tyleek Lewis.
Oh, wait a minute. So it's because he's from Texas. Okay, I got you.
No, Tyleek moved in right before fall camp started. Like I said, he's been a big compliment to Jeremy. I also have a senior running back, Zane Holliquest, who he gets in and does his thing when
he's a bruiser too, isn't he?
Yeah, he's somewhat a bruiser, but he's also a senior, and so he's kind of the glue that keeps those guys together and keeps them on task. And then I have 2 sophomore backs in Bryce Fisher and Gerald Anthony. So we have a good group of guys coming up also in the running back room. So I think that as a whole, we have a good collective group of backs.
All right, so our player of the week, Jeremy, is there anything about his game that really you think stands out for you?
I think it's like you said, I think he has great vision. And I think as a running back, that's one of the things that you need is vision. When things break down, when it doesn't go how we draw it up in the playbook, you have to have that instinct to adapt. So I think that he does a good job of adapting to things when they break down and making something else happen. So I think that, and then he also has what we hadn't had in a long time, a little breakaway speed. So I think that helps out a lot.
All right, last question, unless there's something else.
No.
You got anything else you?
No, I'm good.
All right, well, you know my last question. Why is Zachary the best place you've ever coached?
I guess because I've been here so long. It's Zachary's home. It's been home. But I think that we put a lot into our players, and our players give us a lot. And I think that's what separates us from a lot of other places, because our players buy into our program and buy into the standard that we have set. And so I think that's what separates Zachary from other programs.
All right, Coach Glee, your Farm Bureau Coach of the Week for the Karen Crow game.
Thank you.
Coach Glee. All right, short break. When we come back, two-time Player of the Week, Dylan Shellmeyer. Shellmeyer. So here's some statistics for you. 4 tackles for losses, 4 sacks, 6 quarterback hurries. Are they counting sacks and hurries?
I guess so.
No, I think that's separate.
I think that's separate, yeah.
But tackles out the wazoo, Dylan Shellmeyer.
Yep.
And he also has his own baseball card. Tell me about this baseball card.
All right. So, because everybody has been asking me the same question. So, I had an interview like at the around like spring of the league, and so I had an interview with Gridiron Football, and so I had an interview, and they had made my own card, and also they put the front of the card is on the front of a magazine too.
Oh, nice.
So they send those magazines out to all the colleges across the nation. So this is probably also being sent out across the nation as well.
Very nice. All right, so Dylan, you know I love to ask it. What's your grade point average?
3.3.
Hello. One more time. What's your grade point average?
3.3.
Well done. Well done. Okay. Who would you like to recognize tonight?
I'd like to recognize my mother and my father sitting over there. I'd like to recognize my teammates in the back, Christian Brooks, Reams, Willie Johnson, and Patton, the whole team, and Kirby. But I'd like to recognize everybody who came out here tonight to spend their time out here at Walker.
All right, so the last time you were here, you told me, he told me, he said, I'm coming back. Is this the last time we see you this season?
I don't think so.
Okay, that's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. All right, tell me about the man who helps you with your skills over there to your left.
Those Thomas. So, very when I'm in I feel like I'm in a bad mood, I can just sit there and just and he's talking, I can just see everything, just look at it and visualize it, just so I can see what I need to do better, and also what did I do right, but also need to do it again over and over. So he does a great job of coaching. He's a great coach overall.
All right, this week we're starting district. Let's talk about Scotlandville first. Are you excited to open district against Scotlandville?
Yes, I'm very excited. Gotta take it up a notch. Came out a little flat last week, but now we gotta take it up another level this week because it's the first week of district, but also this is when it really starts to matter. This last half of the season really matters. So, but Scotlandville, they have a great team, a pretty solid team, pretty solid athletes. Their running back, as Coach Brew probably mentioned, he can run. He can run. He'll run through a wall if he has to. So, gotta make sure we're wrapping up, make sure we're tackling, make sure everybody's at the ball at all points. It doesn't matter who has the ball, where the ball is, get to the ball.
All right, so it's district. Do you see things kind of picking up in practice now?
Yes,
the intensity
is starting to pick up. We're starting to go through a bunch of tempo. It's chaotic, a bunch of yelling, screaming. It's basically a good simulation for what we're going to expect out this last half and through the playoffs.
All right. Before I ask you your favorite moment at Zachary High School, is there anything else you got you want to talk to folks about?
Nothing else right now.
Okay, so here's the question. Your favorite moment at Zachary High School?
I gotta think this one. I would say my favorite moment was maybe the Dutchtown game a couple years back in the semifinals.
That was a long game.
That was
2 days?
It was 2 days. It was 2 days. That game in particular is a game that when I describe it to people who don't live in Louisiana, when I describe it to people who that I'm related to that live outside the state, they're 2 days. And I'm yes, it took 2 days for us to win this game. And it was crazy because the first half, which is the first day, was we were behind, and then a whole rain delay happens. It's about third and about 5 or 6 at the end of the third quarter. We would come back the next day, and I'm and I was I went to bed that night, and I was something's gonna happen. I've had this dream. You can even ask one of our trainers. I talked to her about it. She even told me the same thing. A bunch of guys the next day, they told me the same thing. I was like, it's about to happen. And so I went out, got the stops that we needed, went down and scored, and ended up kicking a field goal to win the game in overtime. So that was probably a crazy moment that I can really hold on to the rest of the time that I'm living.
Okay, hopefully between now and the next time you're the player of the week, you'll have me a new one. How about that? All right, player of the week, Dylan Shellbach. All right, do we need a break or you want to just roll it? Here he comes. Coach Stephen Thomas. Coach Thomas? Yes. Let's start off talking about that fine young man, the man who got you 2 dinners at Walk-Ons.
One thing I can say about Dylan is he's very consistent in what he does. I never have to watch him on a particular play because I pretty much know he's always going to do the right thing and be in the right spot, handle his business like he knows he should. Very physical. Just dominating up front. I told Coach Zito, hey, you need to keep him on that right tackle because that right tackle is horrible and Dylan is killing it. And we pretty much kept him on that right tackle most of the night. And that's why we're here.
All right, where do we go next? Do you have anybody that you would like to recognize tonight?
My mother and father are here.
Well played. As they are every Friday night, I might add as well.
Yes, they're very happy that they know there's somebody on the inside that lets them ride the elevator to get to their seats because they don't like to walk up the bleachers. So we appreciate that, Warren.
My colleagues that are here with us, Coach McAdam, Coach Nielsen, Coach Crowder. Coach Crowder had to be here, but I still say hey. A couple of my co-workers back there, I'd like to send a shout out to Ashley Fudge. Fudge in the house. So, but yeah.
All right, so you've been here, what's your 12th year?
12 years. Yeah, my 12th year.
All right. We can't jump to your favorite moment in Zachary. It's too early to get into that.
Okay.
So, what was your favorite coaching moment before you came to Zachary? How about that?
Before I came to you?
Yeah, put you on the spot.
I'd say one. I was defense coordinator at Port Allen High School, and we got put in the same district as St. James. And this is back when Rick Gale, Coach Gale, was the coach of St. James, legendary coach himself in Louisiana high school football, ran a vaulted wing team. And coach, we held them to 6 points that night and beat them the night we played in district. So that was, for me as a young coach, being a coordinator, I got jacked up about that.
All right, so in addition to coaching football, you coach wrestling as well. You want to talk a little bit about wrestling?
Yeah, I don't really do much in wrestling these days. I'm too old and fragile, brittle bone disease and stuff. So I let Coach McHugh, the head coach, I let him get on the mat and demonstrate stuff. I just holler a lot. That's the advantage that I bring to the table. I just holler a lot.
Tell some of our football guys why they ought to wrestle.
Well, in the words of the great Dan Gable,
yes.
Once you've wrestled, everything else in life is easy. And pretty much it's the oldest sport besides running. It's over 5,000 years old. You're not inventing anything new. There's no new moves you can invent. It's already been done. It's just who can do it the best. But if you want to learn how to form tackle, come out for wrestling. We'll show you how to form tackle.
Now, are you also an assistant tennis coach?
I am not. I don't know where you got that from.
Okay, I thought you were on the tennis staff as well.
Do I look like I play tennis?
Well, I mean, you're throwing out all this wrestling know-how. I figured.
No.
Well, the last time you were here, you almost got us put on probation. You got any good Zachary stories to tell us?
I don't know.
You told us the Scotlandville story the last time you were on here, and you're not going to tell it again.
No.
But do you have any memories? I know the Taiwan game, that was a big memory, but do you have any memories from Scotlandville that stick out?
Taiwan was probably the biggest one. Him coming around, because he actually looped around the D-line and put his helmet right on the ball, knocked it out. And PJ Cannon was, just right there, and he has a wait for it and just grabbed it. And it was just one of those, I always joke with the defense when I was coordinator, say, hey, we need a medic. We need a medic. We need to find somebody to stop the bleeding, because we weren't stopping their heavy set run game at that time. It was like, we need a medic, And Taiwan was the medic, got that stop. It was a huge force. Just what a great game to be a part of. And we have a lot of respect for Coach Valdez. He's doing his thing up there down in St. Aug now. But that's probably I don't know how you can top that one.
All right, so tell me about the
other. I can't say that. I won't say that story. Never mind. The other one we played at their place, and their band quit. And the chain game, dropped the chains in the third quarter, just walked across the field. They quit too. That was pretty good.
Okay, so let's talk about some of the other linebackers that you're coaching this year, and the younger ones, the older ones. Tell me who else you got in the linebacker room.
I have 4 seniors this year.
Wow.
Got Dylan Shellmeyer, of course, Isaiah Stokes. He's the other starter on the other side. Got Jason Mason, who plays a bunch in different packages that we have, or if I need to rest Isaiah or something if he's out of breath. Have 2 really good young sophomores that are going to be players. They're going to be studs. With Darius Lee and Brennan Hawkins. Brennan Hawkins is actually Shellmeyer's backup right now. And whenever we send him in, he's always running the ball. He's always doing something that you kind of go, wow, okay. Yeah, he's going to be good. Have Draylon Knox and Trey Morgan, 2 juniors. Great guys to have with my position group. But that's all I have to say. I'm sorry, the other senior, Matthew Alexander. He's pretty decent too. He's gonna be seeing some playing time.
So fun group to work with?
Absolutely fun group to work with. It's a pleasure to come and work with those kids every day. It really is.
All right, so I'll throw it out there. We talked about Scotlandville. Why is Zachary the greatest place you've ever coached?
I actually have a different answer this time. I think one of the greatest things about working at Zachary is how well we all get along with each other. It's a lot of fun to wake up and come here and you get to work with some of your best friends. We have we're very close in the coach's office, a lot of camaraderie among us. We're constantly messing and joking with each other. We're constantly messing and joking with the kids. And we all kind of just feed off each other. We know when it's time to turn it on, we know when it's time to turn it off, type of thing. I think that's one of the biggest things that's just so much fun about being here. That's why we don't have a huge high turnover rate as far as the coaching staff is concerned, because we all so much enjoy working with each other. We throw our egos out at the door. We don't care where we came from, what we're doing now, we only care about one thing, and that's winning and making sure our kids do the best that they can and reach their ultimate goal.
All right, so you got some new guys this year. How long does it take before you think is it the same for all of them? Is it a little different? But those guys.
I give them one day, and I don't even give them a day. What do you think, Coach Carter? It was as soon as I met them, we started messing with them. New coaches, yeah. So, as soon as they step in the door, I was like, oh, look at this guy. We started really right doing there. They got them. Hey, they're the new guys. They got to take it. They got to get it.
Well, are they bringing some things that are kind of out of the box that y'all haven't thought of that have kind of brought some new blood to the program?
No. We're too good for that. We already know what we're doing.
All right, what else you got? I know you'll be back next week.
Maybe.
Okay. I mean, I don't mind having defensive guys here. I mean,
Play by ear. Play by ear.
all right, your Farm Bureau Coach of the Week, Stephen Thomas. Coach Brew, Coach Thomas, if you're on the sidelines, you hear him yell a lot of things. There's some things we're not going to repeat right now.
Probably a good idea.
But what does he mean when he tells his players to get skinny?
Get skinny?
Get skinny.
Right. He's talking about like turning your body sideways, like if there's a double team maybe. Getting your body turned sideways and ripping through between two guys so that you're looking straight ahead and you turn sideways, you get skinny and get through there. That's probably the stuff.
Get skinny. I like that. All right, Coach Brew, we have a request.
Yeah.
We've got a guy who comes here every week, runs our audio and our video, coaches, and does everything at the school. Can you give a shout out to Coach Crowder tonight?
Let me tell you about Coach Crowder. So Coach Crowder is a Zachary grad, went on to play college football at Louisiana College, and then started his coaching career at Santa Monica High School. And so we were lucky enough to steal Coach Crowder and bring him home. Mama called and he came on home, back to the Z. Crowder does, this is nothing offensive to any of my assistant coaches on our staff, but Crowder does a ton of different things, right? Obviously, he's a tremendous defensive line coach. He is the special teams coordinator. He handles all of our technology stuff within the program. All the stuff that you see posted online every week, the many, many, many things that's posted every week, Coach Crowder handles all of that. And he answers the phone when I call at all hours of the day, because sometimes I have to have messages sent out to our football team and parents, and I don't know how to do all that. Coach Crowder does. So I send the messages to Coach Crowder. Coach Crowder then turns around and sends the messages out to the program. Right? Well, guess what? That message may come at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It may come at 8 o'clock in the afternoon. It may come at 2 o'clock in the morning when I wake up and say, oh, I need to send this out. And then it gets sent to Coach Crowder. So he answers all those all the time and gets it done. And when I talk to him about wanting to start some sort of alumni association at Zachary, one more thing getting added to his plate, right? And he does a great job of the athletics website, football website, and making sure that Bronco alums across the country can keep up with what's going on as far as the website is concerned. So the things that he brings to the table are incredible. And of course, his wife and 3 children, they got to share him with us because of everything that he does for the program. So whoever had us talking about Coach Crowder tonight, thank you so much for doing that. The Hitman, all right, thank you, I appreciate that. Coach Crowder brings a ton to the table, man. Ton to the table.
All right, Coach Brew, how do you personally mentally prepare for games?
Well, I can tell you, I prepare for games differently than when I was a coordinator, when I was a position coach. The things that I do as a head coach are a little bit different as far as preparation is concerned. It starts pretty early. Like today, I'm on the phone with the head coach of Scotlandville. We're talking about the logistics of senior night and how that's going to work on Friday, and where I'm going to need them on the field and what's going on, and making sure he gets his comp tickets and making sure he gets all of the directions that we send the visitors every week, telling them where to park, all those kinds of things. So it actually starts that way. I do watch a lot of film, but I watch film a little differently than I used to as a coordinator. And I watch full game film now way more than I did when I was a coordinator. Obviously, when I was a coordinator, I was just looking at the opposition's defense. Now I have to make sure that I'm watching full game film, paying attention to their offense and their defense and their special team groups. I don't watch it as much for X's and O purposes. I watch it more for personnel changes, personnel groupings that they put in sometimes if they want to do specific things. If I notice those things, I'll go into the 3 coordinators, give them my opinion on some things that I see. And then, they either add that into the game plan or whatever. But it's different. Throughout the course of a week, I'm worried about our freshmen. I'm worried about our JV game. Then I'm worried about our varsity game. Are we traveling that week? What's the itinerary look like? All of those kinds of things are running through my head all the time. But as far as preparation is concerned, I really try and make sure that I'm spending a ton of time during the day getting those things taken care of, where at night when I lay down and I right before I go to bed, I try and think about what went on that day as far as the program was concerned and the things that we got to tackle the next day, right? And so that's really the biggest way I guess I mentally prepare for a game, try to get ready as far as that's concerned.
Okay, this next one, I don't know if you want to answer it, but I got a follow-up. How's that?
All right.
So, a player, no name, he messes up. He throws an interception. He misses a tackle. He comes to the sideline.
Yeah.
Any interesting sayings that you've had for those young men before?
Any words of advice?
Any words of advice that you would like to share that you provided?
When you talk about a mistake that a player made, I think there's different things that you have to look at that mistake, right? Was it something that you know for sure he was coached on over and over and over again, and then makes a mistake? Yeah, there's probably going to be some things said there to reiterate what was coached and why it wasn't executed. If it's a younger, inexperienced guy, then maybe I question whether or not that particular instance was coached up. I may just ask a question, like something really, really simple for a younger player, like, what did you see there? What were you looking at when you made that decision, right? As far as tackling is concerned, you know, a question I'll ask from time to time is, what were you looking at? What were you focusing on when you missed the tackle, right? So I try to ask them some questions that maybe makes them think about it, so that the next time they're in that situation, maybe we have a more positive outlook. If it's a situation where it's the same mistake that they've made over and over and over again, it's probably going to get a little hairy in that conversation. If I say anything at all.
Okay.
If I say anything.
So let's flip it.
Yeah.
What are two of the craziest things that you've heard in response?
Two of the craziest things?
Oh, yeah, you can go as many as you want.
Yeah. I wish you had given me a little time to think about this.
Well,
because I've had some great.
That one just came up.
Oh, really? My second year here, kid missed a tackle on the outside. Came to the sideline. I said, "What the hell are you doing? How did you miss it?" That was textbook, easy. Your feet broke down. You were about to make the play, and then you just whiffed. Like, how did that happen? Looked me dead in the eye and said, "Coach, I hiccuped." And when I hiccuped, I closed my eyes and I just missed it. I said, "That's what you're going with right there. You hiccup, and that's why you missed it. That's what you're gonna go with." That's what happened, Coach. Yeah. All right, go get some water. Enjoy yourself. So I guess that's one of probably the crazier answers that I got. What was that kid's name?
All right, we're going to come back and do that one next week. I want you to think of, you have a homework assignment for next week.
Okay.
Craziest things that you've heard.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a great question. What visitor stadium is your favorite to have coached in, and which one do you want to coach in?
Oh, wow. What stadium am I most excited about having coached in? Well, I mean, you got to go with the Louisiana Superdome, right? I mean, that's got to be the answer there. So in 11 years here, we've coached in there 5 times. Yeah, that's it's not really a visiting stadium anymore, is it?
No, sir. No, sir.
So that's a good thing. I can tell you my all-time favorite stadium to have played in when I was a player was the Pit down there in Santa Monica. I loved playing there because there's no track around the field, so the stands are just right on top of you, and it felt like an arena, right? And so I loved playing in that situation. And to be honest with you, in my 27 years of coaching, I have not had the opportunity to coach there. So I would say the Pit in Santa Monica, just an unbelievable atmosphere there. Thousands and thousands of gallons of jambalaya being cooked, probably starting at 8 o'clock that morning. The Ascension Parish people are everywhere. They tailgate. There are people, literally, cars all the way out to the highway. And really big games, all the way out to Airline Highway where the cars are. I mean, it's unbelievable. I would love to coach a game in that place, just for the atmosphere itself. They're really good every year. When you look at their record every year, they win a ton of football games every year. And so, man, I would love to coach them.
Maybe that's somebody we ought to approach. Try to get them on the schedule, huh, Coach?
Yeah. We should definitely approach them, see if they want to do that. I'm going to do that tomorrow. I'm going to try to do that. I think Coach Oliver does a great job over there, and man, I just think that Zachary Sandoval, right? That's a game that has to happen, right? You look at the 2 5A districts, and they always win a bunch of games in their district, and we always win a bunch of games in our district. And, well, I just think that's a great matchup.
All right, any other stadiums that jump out?
We've had a lot of luck down the bayou when we go play Desterham.
Yep.
We've always played really, really well down there. I don't know why, but we really have. So both of those stadiums down that way, Desterham and Huntsville, 2 awesome places to play a football game. Those people really, really love their football teams down there. And I tell you what, post Katrina, when Chalmette High School built their huge new facility, they got this huge glassed-in field house that overlooks a beautiful field. Coach Jason Tucker, their head coach down there, wins a bunch of games every single year. I think that would be a road trip that would be a lot of fun. Not a traditional game between the 2 schools, but that would be a lot of fun to head down that way and play a game as well. So there's some places that I love. Believe it or not, I love going up north. I love playing at West Monroe Stadium. I think that's a fun place to play a game. We've had some success up there traveling up north. So, but lots of fun. Lots of fun. I'm a little different as far as what my beliefs are. As far as I like hosting a game. I love coaching games in a corral, a friendly confines. The corral's a lot of fun, but I do love getting on the road and going and playing away games. When we got to Karen Crow a few weeks ago, and to watch our fans pack that side, our visitor side was just packed, right? And our kids played their best game so far at Karen Crow on the road. There's a lot of teams out there that don't play well on the road because they're nervous about being on the road, they're nervous about being in somebody else's stadium, whatever. Our guys have always played super, super well on the road. And I think that's probably due to a lot of things, but I talk about it a lot. I like to travel into somebody else's place and go play there. I like for those people to host us. And Karen Crow's a fun place, man.
Oh yeah.
Those people really took care of us after the game. They fed our kids and everything. I didn't know all that was happening, but they took care of that. And I'm sorry that little 2-game deal that we did with them is over and it's not going to get rescheduled because I think Karen Crow's always a talented football team and I enjoy going down there.
All right, Coach, it's about that time. You want to close us out? District starts this Friday in the corral, Scotlandville.
Yeah. First and foremost, I want to say with the change in location last week, where the game had to get moved to Zachary, we're supposed to be an away game. I just want to say thank you to our fans for showing up for that game. It wasn't on the schedule. It wasn't part of the original season ticket package, and so I had to buy a ticket for that game and everything. So I just want to say thank you. I mean, obviously Opelousas certainly would have wanted to host that game, but they couldn't because their stadium wasn't ready. So those guys lost a home gate and all those kinds of things. So we agreed to kind of help them out as much as we could financially because they had to get on the road and come to our place, and so. I was a little nervous, right? I mean, I was certainly hoping that we had some fans and we could sell some tickets to make sure that we were able to pay these people what I promised them we'd pay them. So for our fans to show up the way they did, we were playing a team that was 0-4 at the time. It wasn't on the original schedule. People may have had plans and everything, so I was worried about that. But our fans certainly showed out, and they were loud, and they enjoyed themselves, and I think we put on a good show for them. So again, I just want to thank our fans for being there. As far as this week is concerned, we always cut our season up into thirds. You got the pre-district, you have the district, and then you have the postseason. We came out of the pre-district unscathed with a 4-0 record, and now we start district. I'm excited about that. We've been in this district for a while now, and I'm excited about some of the rivalries that we have, starting out right out the gate from Scotlandville. To be able to host that game, to be able to honor our 34 seniors this Friday night, and their parents and family down on the field, it's going to be special. Jacarius Johnson, the player we lost in the off season, his family, his entire family is going to be there on Friday night with the rest of our senior parents. I'm excited about that. After our guys take all their pictures with their parents, I'm going to keep the seniors out there, and our seniors are going to get in a group picture with Jacarius' family. And I'm excited about that. It's going to mean a lot. It's going to be a special, special night. And I hope the Bronco faithful show up in full force, because it's going to be a lot of fun. And we're going to try to put on a show for them. So thank you all for coming out tonight. We certainly appreciate it. Okay, yeah. So apparently this is going to be an orange game on Friday. I heard one of the students ask me about that earlier. Our students and fans, we're encouraged to wear orange in support of Jacarius. You see the number 20 that's painted in orange on our field every week, trying to continue to honor him with everything that we do. So thank you for reminding me of that. I appreciate that. But we're excited about it. We can't wait to see you on Friday. We're going to start district off and with a big rivalry game with Scotlandville. So thank you so much for coming out tonight. Can't wait to see you on Friday. Go Broncos!